Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a folk horror film, Legions. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with an ominous soundtrack leading into a quote, telling us that we are defenseless creatures in a world filled with terrible things and surrounded by forces beyond our wildest imagination. Now, we move to the shot of the missionary jungle, and the narrator introduces himself as Holy, a man from a line of powerful ancestors called Legions. He claims that his blood is sacred, and he has also encountered a powerful demon lord in the missionary jungle. In a flashback, we shift to Holy, who is wearing a mask and is surrounded by a group of followers. He is presented with the corpse of a little girl who appears to be dead. Holy looks at the corpse and signals to everyone that they should leave. After this, he takes off his mask and has a look at the rotting corpse. He smokes a mini cigar and touches the corpse's face. But to his surprise, the girl comes back to life as a demon. Holy is visibly scared to be holy shit and backs away in fear. But the demon girl pounces at him and tries to choke his neck. He manages to get away and hides behind his hut's door. However, the demon girl simply laughs in a chicken voice and walks away, only to give him a jump scare soon after. A tense sequence follows as Holy tries to keep the demon girl at bay, but he eventually manages to cover her in holy cloth and sprinkles holy water upon her demonic body. The others listen to all the aggressive sounds coming from the hut, so they approach Holy with caution. That's when we see that he has emerged victorious. Back to the present, Holy is shown as old and dejected, who is at a mental institution and telling his stories to a fellow patient named Lollipop. Holy tries to smoke a cigarette, but it gets taken away from him by his attendant. He is then carried in a wheelchair to meet a psychologist. Holy frowns upon the current state of faith among the youngsters of the world, so the psychologist asks him how his own faith is holding up. Later, Holy watches a rehearsal of a play based on his own past. However, it's a total shit show as the actor playing the devil strays away from the stage and approaches him. Holy doesn't care because he only wants to smoke his holy cigarette. Lollipop shows up and tries to motivate him to join the play, but Holy is shown to be a buzzkill as he doesn't like any form of entertainment. Regardless, Lollipop and some other patients motivate Holy to add his own experience to the play, as he has dealt with demons before. He eventually gives in to the peer pressure and offers some advice to the director of the play. After a brief series of back and forth, the stage is emptied. This makes Holy think about his daughter, Helena, and he begins to narrate a story about her. A flashback takes us to the night Helena was born, which was an unholy red moon night. After a serious struggle, Holy's wife finally gives birth to Helena in the middle of the jungle, but this catches the attention of the demon lord nearby. Later at night, Holy notices something odd as a mysterious presence circles around the hut while his wife is put into a trance. She invites the demon lord to come take her baby, so Holy becomes anxious. Luckily, there's nothing to worry about for now because there is a holy circle drawn around the hut. Despite this, Holy knows that he needs to maintain Helena's faith. He takes her to a waterfall and is joined by his mother, who offers a holy necklace to Helena in an intense ritual. After the ritual, Holy comes back home, but sees his wife walking away in a creepy fashion. However, she immediately turns into the demon lord, and we realize that Holy's wife has actually been killed. This breaks Holy's heart, but the flashback is interrupted when the stage director says it's time to pack up. Later, Holy gets visited by his lawyer, who informs him that Helena is busy with her job, trying to survive in this dog-eat-dog world. Holy is told that Helena misses him, but he chooses to ignore lawyer's words because there is a news broadcast talking about an upcoming astrological phenomenon. This worries Holy because he knows this phenomenon is the unholy red moon night. Now we shift to Helena, who is busy with her boring desk job. Helena's colleague, Blonde, has a chat with her and motivates her to come up with some slogans for a new marketing campaign for toilet paper. Helena continues her work at home and is greeted by the same lawyer, who is shown to be her husband. They share a romantic moment, and then lawyer goes to sleep. Helena joins him later, but she experiences a dream where she is inside the missionary jungle. The demon lord closes in on her, so she suddenly wakes up. Helena can see a spooky figure in front of her, but when she switches on the lights, she finds no one there. The next day, Holy tries to enjoy a meal, but is told by the attendant that he has a female visitor. He immediately goes to see her, while the attendant has to deal with the devil actor wreaking havoc. Now Holy meets his friend named Babe, who gives him a pipe to smoke. Upon blowing the smoke, Holy can see that Babe is actually his Legion ancestor in the guise of a pretty lady. She explains that Helena is in danger as the demon lord wants to sacrifice her to summon his true evil form. The only way to save Helena is to make her restore her faith, but Holy is currently helpless. At night, Holy has a chat with a bald patient named Baldy about a self-help book. Then, a night warden has an argument with his buddy, a horror fan who likes horror films. Suddenly, the devil actor shows up to meet Holy. He wants to reinvent his style, but a warden spots him and chases after him. Holy makes use of this distraction and goes to meet Lollipop. He is surprised to see her in makeup, but gets to the point and asks for a needle and some thread. He then takes us to another flashback, where we see Helena walking towards a leopard, because her powers allow her to form a connection with wildlife. Later at night, Helena hears the demon lord running around the hut. She becomes curious and steps outside the hut's holy circle. Then, Helena sees a vision of her dead mother, but this is just a trap for the demon lord to take her body away. Holy wakes up and tries to rescue Helena, but the demon lord has already escaped with her holy necklace. This changes Helena's fate since then, and she starts to stray away from the Legion lifestyle. She starts reading fashion magazines and even criticizes her father for keeping her stuck in this life filled with ghosts and spirits. A tense argument follows, while some demonic noises can be heard in the background. That's when Helena opens a secret door and reveals a cursed demon man tied to the bed. She says this is a ridiculous way of life, but then the demon man breaks free and tries to attack her. Luckily, Holy saves Helena and kills the demon man with his holy stake. Back to the present, Holy and his team evade a warden and figure out an escape plan. For it to work, they need Horror Fan's hair, so Lollipop goes to him. She seduces Horror Fan with her lollipop magic and gives him a massage. This gives Lollipop a chance to sneakily cut his hair in the process. Meanwhile, Holy begins a holy ritual in front of the other patients. Then, Lollipop shows up with Horror Fan's hair, which Holy uses on a voodoo doll. He proceeds to perform a ritual and drops some of his own blood on the voodoo doll. To everyone's amazement, the voodoo doll reacts aggressively to the ritual and gets burnt to a crisp. Now Holy uses the voodoo doll to control Horror Fan. What follows is a painful experience for Horror Fan as his eyes start twitching, his body starts contorting, and his uniform starts heating up. Eventually, Horror Fan runs away from the mental institution, with the other warden chasing after him. This allows Holy to make a smooth exit with Babe, who drives him back to her place. However, she only gives him a new suit, not a kiss. Holy dresses up and goes to Helena's office, but the receptionist doesn't recognize Helena's last name. Holy goes to the name board and realizes that Helena is going by her lawyer husband's given name. He presents this name to the receptionist, and then Helena gets a call. However, she panics upon hearing that her father is here, so she says she can't meet him. Helena proceeds to call the psychologist and informs her about her father breaking out of the institution. The psychologist says she'll handle the situation, but takes a drink to ease her nerves. Helena tries to meditate inside her office, after which she goes back home to her husband. He tells her she did the right thing by not letting her father near her, but also states that Holy's escape will bring severe legal consequences. Meanwhile, Holy begins his mission by starting another ritual with the coffee that everyone drinks in Helena's office. The next day, Blonde has a chat with Helena regarding her work, but the only thing on her mind is to find out whether anyone has found her father. Helena resumes her meditation, but we see Holy's ritual spell with the coffee starting to work. It brainwashes Blonde and the other employees to walk away like robots. Helena remains oblivious to this, but wakes up to see the office empty. Holy shows up and talks about keeping her safe from the demon lord, but Helena says that he needs to go back to the institution. Holy offers some smelly liquid as protection, but Helena refuses to believe that the demon lord is after her. Dejected and saddened, Holy goes away, and everyone from the office is back to their seats. Helena is shocked to see them, as they see her acting paranoid. Now, Holy goes to Babe and tells her that they need more powerful weapons to combat the demon lord, because Helena's faith is weaker than ever. Babe comes up with a few suggestions and presents some holy liquids to Holy. He goes on to perform another ritual, similar to the one he had performed after Helena was born. While he awakens his holy powers, Helena takes a look at the smelly liquid and goes to bed. Holy is able to transport his spirit to Helena's house, and it is there where he learns that Helena's husband is actually the demon lord in disguise. The husband uses his demon hand to reassure Helena that all is well, and then he abruptly scares Holy to send him back to his room. Lawyer follows after Holy and meets him in person. He takes away a photo of Helena and munches on it, so Holy attacks him with some holy tap water. The demon lord gets burnt and runs away in fear, but things go from bad to worse when the institution's wardens arrive to take away Holy. They strap him to a bed and imprison him inside a ward where Baldy is present. The next day, Lawyer spikes Helena's coffee and gives it to her while she talks about seeing her mom in a dream and also mentions the upcoming Red Moon night. Unfortunately, Helena senses that all is not well, as Lawyer's face has been damaged due to the holy water. But it's too late as the drugs kick in, causing Helena to fall to the ground. Later, Holy wakes up to Lollipop and the others, asking him about how they can complete the play. However, Baldy tells them that Holy has been drugged and cannot hear them. On the other side, Lawyer begins his evil ritual, while Psychologist examines some of the material gathered from Holy's room. She inexplicably drinks the holy water, which also has a holy insect inside it. We learn that Baldy is also a vessel for the Demon Lord, as he shuts the door and taunts Holy. Then, the Psychologist goes to witness the demon play with the attendant, but the holy bug is visibly bothering her. Lawyer picks up Helena and brings her to his demonic circle, while Psychologist continues to struggle with the holy bug inside her. Holy is finally able to break free from his bed, but Baldy starts choking him with his demonic power. Things get intense, both in the actual ritual and the play. Lollipop and the others put on a passionate display, but Psychologist turns into a demon and scares everyone away, especially the assistant, who screams like a chicken. Meanwhile, Babe comes to visit Holy, but she isn't allowed inside by the wardens. That's when the other patients cause a distraction because of Demon Psychologist, and Babe uses it to sneak away from the wardens. Eventually, Demon Psychologist reaches Baldy and attacks him in order to save Holy. She brutally rips off his jaw and smacks his bald head without mercy. After that, she rips his head off in front of Lollipop and the others. Baldy's head gets tossed aside, and then Babe arrives to rescue Holy. They make their way to Helena, who now gets a chance to escape because her demon husband's face starts to bother him due to the earlier holy water attack. Helena manages to stab the demon and crawls away. The Demon Lord tries to awaken, but Helena kicks his ugly face and runs away with the holy liquid. She hides on top of the building and covers herself with the holy liquid, while the Demon Lord awakens his true form and looks for her by tracing her smelly hormones. Luckily, the Demon Lord is unable to find Helena and roars like a goose in frustration. Now, Holy and Babe reach Helena's house and figure that she must have gone upstairs. However, when they reach the terrace, the Demon Lord attacks Babe and knocks her out. Holy goes to help her and briefly faces off against the Demon Lord. He lands a blow, but is tricked by the Demon Lord when he shows himself as Holy's wife. Luckily, Helena alerts her father about this, so he immediately stabs the Demon Lord and sends him to meet Jesus. We see this happen with Holy and Helena in their younger forms, and finally, Holy rips Helena's necklace from the Demon Lord's stomach. He then gives it to Helena, who wears the holy necklace to restore her faith. The movie ends with Babe waking up and seeing the father and daughter finally united and reconciled. They walk away hand in hand, with Helena finally accepting her true identity. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.